We're bringing in Republican Senator Rick Scott of Florida for some reaction and context. Thank you so much for joining us on this busy day, Senator.
Hi, Lindsay. How are you doing?
I am well. Let's start with Bob Woodward's book and those recordings that we heard from President Trump. You've praised the president's decision in the past to ban some travel from China at the end of January. But if the president knew in early February that the coronavirus was airborne, far more dangerous than the flu and highly contagious, at this point now, looking back, do you feel that he should have done more earlier?
Well, I think you're right. I think he did the right thing by stopping the travel from China. But you know what I learned as governor, I had hurricanes, I had a healthcare crisis, and when you get information, you always, when you make a decision, when you finally do it, you probably should have done it a day earlier. That's at least how you feel. I think there's a lot of people that worked hard in the federal government. I do think that at every level, the federal, state, and local, they still could give us a lot better information. I think the public is pretty smart, and if they'll make sure they give us good information, as an example, tell us, if there's a shortage of PPE, tell us, we'll figure it out. If there's a shortage of ventilators, tell us. If they, tell us where there's, transmission of coronavirus and give us the facts. I think American public's pretty smart. They'll respond pretty fast.
Do you think it's possible that the president intentionally played down the virus threat and is keeping the public calm? Is that the most important goal when there's a pandemic, life or death threat?
Well, my approach has been to give people the facts. When a hurricane's coming, I got to get people to evacuate. I didn't mandate it. I just said, look, here's what's happening. If you don't evacuate, these are the consequences. I think as public officials, our job is to give people the facts as much as we know it. And if we don't know something, be very clear we don't know it. And if something changes, say, look, this is what I was told, or this is what I understood, or this is what I knew. But you know what? I know something better now. And I think that's what, at every level of government, that's what they should be doing with this and any other issue that we deal with, whether it's hurricanes or coronavirus or any healthcare scare.
You said today that the government officials should put out more information about virus transmission. What do you mean? And what else should the public know to stay safe?
I think, when I was governor, I had a Zika healthcare crisis that impacted newborns. And I told people very, very specifically, this is where we're seeing local transmission. And so, two things happened. One, people stopped going to those areas. Number two, the businesses and homes there figured out, how do I stop this? I think the same thing with this. If you tell us, hey, look, in this restaurant or this establishment, we're seeing that people are getting coronavirus, then we're going to expect that establishment, we're probably not going to go there for a while, and we'll expect that establishment to tell us how they're going to keep us safe. And I think that's what we ought to be seeing. I think they're putting out more information. I think Steve Hahn at the FDA has been trying to put out a lot of information on the testing. We're making progress there. I hope we're making progress on the vaccine. We're all very hopeful, but we don't, I know a lot of people are trying hard, but I just think the more information we have, tell us Americans are smart, we'll be very reactive.
And let's move on to another major headline today. Brian Murphy, a former DHS chief of intelligence, has filed a whistleblower complaint alleging that DHS officials tried to censor and manipulate intelligence about Russian election interference. The department has flatly denied these claims, but are they worth a congressional investigation? And are you concerned that it might be true?
Well, first off, you always want to get the facts. I think that government, one thing, if you expect people to trust government and follow your lead when you're elected, you better give them all the facts. And so I think on all these, let's put all the facts out there and figure out what deserves investigations and things like that. I don't know anything about that issue. Nobody's briefed me on it. But look, I want to get information out. I'm on Homeland Security Committee, where I think Chairman Ron Johnson works hard to try to get things out and get things into the open. And I think better decisions are made when everybody has the same information rather than it's conjecture and things like that. So I'm always open to, let's get the facts out and we'll figure out where we go from there.
Lastly, let's address the congressional impasse on stimulus spending. Republicans put together a slimmed-down bill with $500 billion in relief, which is a far cry from the more than $2 trillion that Democrats want to spend. Is there any room for compromise here? And what are millions of suffering Americans supposed to do while Congress remains in this stalemate?
You should be furious. I think Americans that still need relief should be disappointed that their Congress has not been able to come together and figure out something to do. I can tell you, Republican senators, we had a call almost every day with the White House, with Mark Meadows, the chief of staff, and Steve Mnuchin, to figure out how do we help the people that have lost their job, how do we help our small businesses get reopened and stay open, and how do we get this economy going, how do we get our schools open. So the bill that we're going to pass tomorrow is going to be very targeted, but the Democrats to date, so far at least, have said they don't want to have any conversation unless the number's bigger. Well, it's not about the number. It's about are you solving problems? And that's what I came up here to do, and I hope that's what everybody else is trying to do.
Senator Scott, we thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thanks, Lindsay. Have a good day.
You too.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.